Toy Story 2, Hand-Eaten Woody. It was the fall of 2006, and I had just moved into a dusty old rental house in a forgotten town with a name that sounded like a sneeze. The landlord, an overly smiley man who refused to blink, had left behind a single box of VHS tapes in the attic, labeled Internal Use Only, Property of Pixar. Most were unlabeled. One was different. In Sharpie, it read, Toy Story 2, Woody's Hunger Cut, Do Not Duplicate. The tape smelled like rust and cherry syrup. I should have left it there, but it was raining outside, and the power was flickering, and nostalgia always has teeth. I pushed it into my VCR. It clicked. Then it crunched. ACT1, the opening. It began like any version of Toy Story 2 would. Buzz flying through space, fighting Zurg, the usual. But the music was off. Slowed. Hollow. Like it was playing through a PVC pipe, submerged in cough syrup. Then it cut to Andy's room. The toys were all motionless. Too motionless. Woody lay on the bed, wide-eyed. His mouth was agape, far too wide for a toy. He sat up slowly, turned toward the camera, and said something in a gravelly voice. I need it back. Then he bit into his hand. I mean it, his plastic hand. The sound wasn't cartoonish. It was wet. Like chewing on uncooked pasta soaked in sink water. He kept going. A full minute of screen time was just Woody gnawing on his own fingers, while the other toys watched in silence. Rex trembled. Mr. Potato Head covered his mouth. Buzz stood in the doorway whispering, It begins again. ACT2. Woody's transformation. Every time it cut back to Woody, his hand was more chewed. By the 15-minute mark, it was gone up to the elbow. Yet somehow, he kept eating. The arm regenerated. The bites began again. Every loop, he ate a bit faster. With more purpose, his pupils dilated. He whispered between bites. I was supposed to stay in the box. I wasn't meant to remember. They promised I'd forget the chew. I thought it was some bizarre parody, until Bo Peep turned to the camera and said directly, You shouldn't be watching this. The screen flickered. I swear, for one frame, I saw my room. My own room. The exact one I was sitting in. Then it cut to black. And the chewing continued in the darkness. ACT3, the toy graveyard. When the picture returned, it was no longer Andy's room. It was a landscape of discarded toy parts. Barbie limbs, melted Legos, deflated Bop-Its, strewn across an endless desert of shredded felt and polyester stuffing. Woody dragged himself through the wreckage, still chewing on the bloody stump of his own arm. Only now, it wasn't plastic anymore. It was flesh. And each bite sounded more satisfied. He came upon a hill of Buzz Lightyear bodies, hundreds of them, each one with missing heads, arms twisted, laser buttons smashed. Woody smiled, teeth red, to infinity and digestion. From the sky, hundreds of VHS tapes rained down, each labeled, You shouldn't have watched. One cracked open when it hit the ground. The tape inside slithered like a snake and coiled around Woody's neck. He didn't resist. ACT4, the final cut. In the final scene, Woody sat in Andy's room again. Then, his mouth stretched from ear to ear. Then, Tris, both arms gone. Then, his torso open. His own rib cage was made of crayons, and his eyes were full of sand. He looked directly at me through the screen and whispered, I still have one more hand. Suddenly, a human hand, real, hairy, shaking, reached in from off-screen. He grabbed it, bit into it. My hand hurt. I yelped, looked down. Nothing there. But the pain remained. Phantom. Dull, like a bite mark wrapped in heat. Then the screen cut to static. But not white static. Red. pulsing, and behind the static, faintly, was Woody's voice, on loop. The chew returns. The chew remembers. I can't unchew. Epilogue. The tape won't leave. I tried destroying the tape. It screamed when I touched it. I buried it. It dug its way back. I threw it in the river. I woke up with it in my microwave. And now, every time I see Woody on a shelf at a store, his arm is missing. Or chewed. Or bandaged with salsa packets. And once, just once, I woke up at night to the sound of chewing. I turned on the light. My Woody doll was on the floor, missing a hand, smiling. If you find a copy of Toy Story 2, with no label. If Woody seems too hungry, don't watch, don't chew, don't forget. Because Woody doesn't just want a friend. He wants a snack. Bah. And you only have 2 hands.